to you was the villain. Don Lewis, your ex-husband, who you're referring to then, disappeared without a trace, declared dead in 2002. His children from his first marriage think that you killed him, minced him up, and fed him to the tigers.
I think maybe they should check with Homeland Security, who seems to know where he is.
Right. Oh,
Do you believe that? Do you believe that, Carole? Do you think that he's still alive?
I didn't think that he was capable of supporting himself. He took about $1 million down into Costa Rica, and I had agreed to let him do that so he could prove to himself that he couldn't make a living. And when we recovered what we could out of that years later, it was only about $80,000 because the investments he had made were so bad. So I don't know how it is that Homeland Security says he's alive and well in Costa Rica, but I'm glad to hear it.
What up, YouTube? It's Coffee on the vid. Here we are back into the crazy world, the crazier than a three-ring circus, crazier than a freak show, big cat community, Tiger King universe. You know, they often say truth is stranger than fiction. And real talk, when it comes to all these individuals, like, that's facts. You know what I mean? I'm sure most people remember when Tiger King took the world by storm, when the sickness first really jumped off. I binge watched season 1 quick as fuck. Season 2 was like, let me know if you were intrigued with season 2 or you kind of lost interest. A couple individuals got spin-offs and everything. Like, seriously, everyone involved in this has got a bunch of dirt on them. Crazier than a bed bug. And, they all kind of hate on each other, cut each other's throats, you know what I mean? Stab each other in the back, and they all kind of operate within loopholes in a lot of ways where the things that they're doing aren't exactly legal, and they all want to take each other's animals away from each other. But something, that I'm surprised didn't get a spin-off or maybe it will, get a documentary focused strictly on it is Carole fucking Baskin, right? Joe Exotic's arch nemesis, who, this isn't just a story Joe cooked up. It was already a narrative. He just reiterated it and, had that music video where he showed a Carole Baskin lookalike feeding her husband, to some tigers or lions or big cats. I don't know. You know what I mean? And this is, again, been a theory before Joe Exotic as he went missing in 97. She greatly benefited from this as she runs the empire now, got herself an alpha cuck, if that's a thing, with her new husband. And there's a lot of shady ish that really seems that, a lot of people really believe that she's behind his disappearance in murder. Some say he's under the septic tank. I'm sure you guys all recall this. Well, what's going on now in that clip you heard in the beginning, was from an interview in 2021 she did on some show where they asked her, once again about Don, and you heard her say, well, why don't you ask Homeland Security? And I feel like this was in season 2 of Tiger King a little bit, because they had the Hillsborough County sheriff department, homicide detective in there. He was very like, no comment. I can't speak about a open investigation, but we are exploring different possibilities and things like that. And somewhere through all the different people they interviewed, something came up about some kind of document coming from Homeland Security saying, Don was still alive and well in Costa Rica. It's like just kind of glossed over very quickly in season 2. I think I'm right. Someone let me know if I'm wrong. Well, somewhere in the past day or so, people started, like, how it goes in real life and in the blogosphere. Someone on Twitter was like, wait, they found him. He's alive and well in Costa Rica. And, everyone just started taking and running with it. And, different platforms started publishing articles and things like that, saying, oh my God, this was all solved a year ago and we never found out about it, and it's like, this can't be true. This can't be real. We would have heard all about this, you know what I mean? And again, I remember this being mentioned on season 2, but somehow this whole thing started going viral off this old clip and everything. And now it's been confirmed that he has not been found. He's still a missing person. It's still an open investigation. You know what I mean? Like, this would have been huge news. Even though Tiger King isn't the buzz that it used to be, this would still be major news. A guy missing since 97's found. Like, come on, I don't know. Someone just started tweeting about this when they heard this clip, and it all went wild from there, you know. But Hillsborough County says no, he's still a missing person. But you know what's really weird about this? Like, they're like, the feds didn't alert us to anything about him being found. This really raises the question to me now, as again, this was spoke about in season 2, and you see there's this document in question that's supposed to be from Homeland Security, saying that he was located or spotted or whatever. And it's like, wait, well, then this has to be a fake, right? I mean, fact checkers are looking into this in everything, and you see it's even being referred to as an alleged document. It's like, this just gets even stranger and weirder, you know? Like, what, did Carole fucking Baskin make up this document? Where did it come from? Where did this whole Department of Homeland Security narrative start, you know? Because this just doesn't really add up. And I got to go back and watch season 2 now and try to dive deeper into this. But for real, I swear I thought maybe his ex-attorney or someone they were interviewed said something about it, but I thought it was presented as more than as a theory. But here you see now, there definitely is an alleged document out there floating around. But then in that interview, Carole Baskin, when those in the beginning of this video, that clip I used, when they said, well, even his kids think you chopped him up and fed him to the tigers or whatever. She's like, well, why don't you ask Homeland Security? Because they think he's alive and well in Costa Rica. So she's speaking of it as if they reached out to her. I don't know. It's just all crazy. None of it makes sense. Where did the document come from? Like, for real, I'm pretty sure it breaks some laws to create a false letter from a government agency. You know what I'm saying? There's just been so many different theories painted on Tiger King, and in, you know, other individuals who try to dive in and do armchair detective work, or, you know, other people who really have some kind of background in investigating or investigative journalism. You know, like, most people seem to really think Carole had something to do with it, that she might have hired that handyman to do it. You know, there's some people that say, no, Don really ran off. He couldn't stand her. He wanted to get the fuck away from her. He was involved in all kinds of, you know, shady business deals over there in Costa Rica. He owned property. He was trying to hide his money from the government. I don't know. It just all sounds crazier and crazier. Like, what was this guy, a fucking CIA agent or something like that? I mean, I don't know. And then what's even more bizarre, too, is, from my understanding, Homeland Security only got off the ground in 2002, which is the same year he went missing in 97. 02 was the same year that he was officially, by, you know, law enforcement, not ruled as dead, but, you know, they came out and said, listen, he's presumed dead, you know? So, like, when did this alleged letter pop up? And I don't know, it really makes no sense at all. Like, when they did Tiger King 2 and all that, and that whole Homeland Security narrative came up, why didn't they dig more into that or have a more clarified answer, you know? And if I was the people interviewing her on that talk show, I would have said, well, wait, so they reached out to you and said this, or what? I don't know. It just, none of it makes sense. Again, this is the wild world, a Tiger King in the big cat community. You got the fat Chucky guy, you got that Jeff Lowe guy and his girl, you know, that like to do Molly and have threesomes. And they had a reality show pilot before where they were trying to be, or they were in the liquidator business. They're going around sneaking tiger cubs and stuff like that in duffel bags into Vegas hotels for petting sessions and all this weird ish. Like, you got Joe Exotic. I don't even gotta go in describing him. Just all these sons of bitches are as crazy as or crazier than the last one. And again, they're all trying to just stab each other in the back and frame each other. It's just madness. But to reiterate, this isn't new news. This was something she said before and had been mentioned before. Someone just happened to notice it and start tweeting about it and start up a Carole fucking Baskin firestorm in the blogosphere. But Hillsborough County says no. The government, the feds, no one reached out to us and said anything. He's still missing and presumed dead. Homeland Security hasn't answered any comments, and we still have this alleged document out there floating around somewhere. Just none of it adds up. But it was all cap. It wasn't true. Don Lewis has not been confirmed, found in Costa Rica. So there you have it. I just had to make this video. I said, wait a second, man. Carole fucking Baskin is back in the news. I remember a couple years ago, they were supposed to dig up the septic tank. Some YouTuber or someone that does, armchair detective type work got like some kind of financer that was going to put up a bag because Carole Baskin said, hey, if you guys cover the cost, you can come down and dig it up. And then someone had the money and she said, hell no. So if you ask me, my gut tells me she's behind it all. And like, I don't know, that's just how I feel. Let me know how you feel below about, Don Lewis being missing, the murder or missing mystery, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And what do you guys think about this whole Department of Homeland Security narrative and just everything else? Let's talk about it in the comments. It's coffee. Sub to the channel. Music, news, sports, and more. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.